The rain beat steadily against the wide glass windows of Le Charme Bistro, its rhythmic patter mingling with the soft jazz playing in the background. Inside, the scent of freshly baked bread and roasted garlic filled the air, wrapping the diners in cozy warmth. Lena Hoffmann, dressed in her neatly pressed black uniform and white apron, moved gracefully between the tables. Her smile was practiced but kind, the kind of smile that hid exhaustion. She had been working since morning, her mind divided between serving customers and worrying about her mother's mounting hospital bills. But she never let her worries show. She had learned long ago that grace under pressure was part of survival. The door swung open, and a gust of cold air swept through the restaurant. Conversations quieted for a moment as a tall man entered, shaking the raindrops from his tailored coat. His presence demanded attention, his confidence, his watch worth more than Lena's yearly salary, his sharp eyes scanning the room as if measuring its worth. He was Alexander Weiss, the tech billionaire whose name graced business magazines and whose fortune had built an empire. The hostess hurried to greet him, but he waved her off with a dismissive gesture. "A table by the window," he ordered curtly. Lena stepped forward with her usual smile. "Right this way, sir." She led him to a corner table, placing a menu before him. "Would you like something to drink while you decide?" Alexander barely glanced up. "Sparkling water." "Chilled." His tone was sharp, his attention fixed on his phone as if her presence was beneath notice. Lena nodded and left, her professionalism unshaken. But as she turned, she caught the faint sound of his voice, low, confident, and in German. "Arm Kellnerin, wahrscheinlich zu dumm, Michigan zu verstehen." Poor waitress, probably too stupid to understand me. The word stung, but Lena didn't flinch. She continued walking toward the counter, her expression calm, though her pulse quickened. The arrogance in his voice told her everything she needed to know about him. He had no idea that the waitress he just insulted was fluent in German, that her mother was born in Munich, or that she understood every single word. As she prepared his order, a small smile tugged at the corner of her lips. Alexander Weiss had just underestimated the wrong woman. When Lena returned to Alexander's table with his steak and sparkling water, her movements were calm and measured, though her mind raced with the memory of his insult. She placed the plate before him carefully, the faint aroma of seared meat rising between them. "Your steak, sir," she said politely. Then, without breaking eye contact, she added in fluent German, her voice smooth and even, "Ich hoffe, es ist gut genug für jemanden, der denkt, dass die Leute, die ihm dienen, dumm sind." I hope it's good enough for someone who thinks the people serving him are stupid. The silver fork slipped from Alexander's hand, clattering against the porcelain plate. His blue eyes snapped up to meet hers, surprise flickering across his usually composed face. For a moment, the billionaire was speechless. He had not expected a waitress in a small city bistro to understand him, let alone answer back so elegantly in his native tongue. The nearby diners turned their heads, sensing the tension but not daring to interrupt. "You speak German?" he asked finally, his voice softer than before. "Fluently," Lena replied. "My mother's from Munich. She taught me before I could even write my name." Her tone remained polite, but her eyes were steady, unflinching. Alexander tried to recover with a smirk, but his arrogance had lost its edge. "Impressive," he said, leaning back in his chair. "You don't meet many waitresses who can match me in language." Lena tilted her head slightly. "And you don't meet many billionaires who confuse status with intelligence." Her reply was calm, almost gentle, but it hit harder than anger ever could. Without waiting for his reaction, she turned and walked away to serve another table. For the rest of the evening, Alexander found it hard to focus on his food. Every time Lena passed by, he caught himself watching her, how she moved with quiet confidence, how she spoke to customers with patience and sincerity. There was something about her that unsettled him, something genuine in a world he had long filled with pretense. When the bill arrived, he left a $500 tip and a note written in perfect script, *, "You surprised me tonight. Coffee tomorrow? AW." Asterisk. Lena read it, smiled faintly, and scribbled her reply beneath. Asterisk, I don't drink coffee with men who mistake kindness for weakness. Asterisk. Then she walked away, leaving the billionaire staring after her, utterly speechless once again. A week passed since that unforgettable night at Le Charme Bistro, but Alexander Weiss couldn't shake Lena Hoffmann from his mind. For a man accustomed to boardrooms, luxury jets, and people who bowed to his name, she was different, humble yet unshakably strong, intelligent without trying to impress. Her words, "I don't drink coffee with men who mistake kindness for weakness," echoed in his thoughts like a challenge he couldn't ignore. One rainy evening, as Lena walked home from another exhausting double shift, a sleek black car rolled to a stop beside her on the quiet street. The tinted window lowered, revealing Alexander behind the wheel, looking uncharacteristically nervous. "Miss Hoffmann," he called, "please don't walk away. I only want a minute of your time." Lena stopped, her heart quickening. "Mr. Weiss," she said cautiously, "are you here to insult me again or to offer another oversized tip?" Alexander shook his head, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "Neither. I came to apologize." His tone was sincere, stripped of arrogance. "That night, I was rude and thoughtless. You didn't deserve that. I judged you before I even saw you." His honesty disarmed her. For a moment, Lena saw not the billionaire everyone admired or envied, but a man trying to make things right. She hesitated, then nodded toward the café across the street. "One tea. Nothing more." Inside, the small café glowed with soft light, and the smell of cinnamon hung in the air. As they sat, Alexander listened as Lena spoke about her life, how she worked 2 jobs to pay for her mother's medical care, how she tutored students in German at night, and how she dreamed of studying business administration one day. He was captivated. She wasn't just another waitress struggling to survive, she was a woman with resilience carved into her bones. When the conversation ended, Alexander reached into his pocket and handed her a business card. "My company runs an internship program next month," he said. "No charity, no favors. Just an opportunity for someone who deserves it." Lena studied the card for a long moment before tucking it into her bag. "I'll think about it," she said quietly. As she walked away, Alexander watched her disappear into the night, knowing, somehow, that their story was far from over. Months passed, and Lena Hoffmann's life began to change in ways she never expected. After long nights of hesitation and self-doubt, she had applied for the internship at Weiss Technologies, not because of Alexander's influence, but because she wanted to prove to herself that she was capable of more. Out of hundreds of applicants, her name appeared on the final list. From the very first day, she worked tirelessly, arriving before dawn, staying late into the night, absorbing everything like a sponge. Her sharp mind, fluency in multiple languages, and ability to stay calm under pressure quickly caught the attention of the higher-ups. Even those who didn't know her story sensed there was something special about the quiet young woman who once served tables but now spoke confidently in meetings. When Alexander first saw her again, standing in the conference room, presenting a marketing strategy to senior executives, he could hardly believe it was the same woman who had once brought him steak and water. She spoke with clarity and conviction, seamlessly switching between English and German to explain her plan for expanding the company's European market. The room was silent when she finished, and for the first time in years, Alexander felt genuine admiration, not just for her intelligence, but for her courage. After the presentation, he approached her, his usual confidence softened by respect. "Miss Hoffmann," he said quietly, "you've exceeded every expectation. I think I owe you more than just an apology now." Lena smiled, her eyes calm and steady. "You already gave me what I needed, Mr. Weiss, a chance to prove myself." He nodded slowly. "That night at the restaurant, I thought I was teaching you your place. Turns out, you were the one teaching me." She laughed softly. "And what lesson was that?" "That respect can't be bought," he said simply. "It's earned, through humility and heart. And you've shown me both." Lena's smile deepened, warmth flickering in her gaze. Then I guess we both learned something valuable. As she walked away, the office buzzed with congratulations, and Alexander stood watching her with quiet pride. The arrogant billionaire who once mocked a waitress had been transformed, by a woman whose grace and intelligence had left him truly speechless.